Hello family. How are you all? Coming to you live for a reason. Been a lot of booky energy about last couple of days. Intense. I don't know how you've been experiencing that, and I hope you're all well. Welcome or welcome back. Welcome to this space. Now, there's been some messages weaving for the last few days, and yesterday was an interesting day. There was a lot going on. That's the reason I'm coming live. There was 3 different recordings that I did yesterday. Only one for this channel and some other work. None of them saved. I was like, okay, that's interesting. That's a story in itself. And basically, there was a message yesterday, which I'll weave in today, that started to show me all the ways in which different parts of ourselves, different consciousness can come through and have the effect to stop us, contract us, and then we sabotage ourselves, right? So I was really keen. I really wanted to drop in and connect with you, share the messages that are coming through. So I'm like, I'm not risking this again. I'm not having anything interfere with this channel. So yesterday the resistance was shown to me. It was mirrored to me through this kind of these tech issues. Now, one of the messages, actually, we'll get into that in a second. I just want to get this incense fired up a bit more. I've got the purification burning. We've got the smoky quartz energy here. We've got all the tools. We've got some frankincense and myrrh, and we're just going to drop in around this kind of, and I don't always feel called to speak into interference or this kind of this spooky energy. I don't always pay it any mind, right? Don't make meaning out of it. However, this is a thread of this message that's been coming through the last few days. Tried to articulate that yesterday. I felt drawn to the Dragonfae cards this week as well, but it just wasn't meant to come through because it wasn't complete. So after that yesterday, one of the videos, the one that was for this channel, so there was a message coming through around waiting for something to be different before we take an action. The day before, I was out on a walk. I felt called to record a short message, just a little reel. And as I took my phone out of my pocket, I heard, there's no point in sharing that. That's silly. And I did it anyway, because that's the journey that I'm on. I'm on a journey of pushing past any resistance and just showing up anyway, right? But it did occur to me that a lot of us may be stuck in that thought, the thought that comes up as a result of an idea. It's like a counter, it's like a boomerang thought that comes in when we get an idea to do something, when we get an urge to share, to create a project, any idea. And it occurred to me that there's a lot of you with these beautiful ideas, this wonderful urge to share, to speak, maybe to do something a little bit different. And then the thought comes in, oh, there's no point in that. How are you going to do it? No one's going to want to hear it, blah, de, blah, de, blah. Now, it occurred to me in that moment, like, here I am, I've been on fire for the last couple of weeks because I've finally got some momentum to produce something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. But then the last couple of days was the period of time where it's finished, it's complete, and I now have to talk about it, share it. And for the first time in my life, I'm so grounded in the value of the work that it feels exciting, it feels alive to share. So don't have a problem with it in that sense. But, I'm doing this mind work. I share it. I teach it. It's something that I've been doing for 10 years personally. It's created a lot of transformation in my life. And here I am making statements such as, and sharing the keys to creating the space in our mind, which is clear, okay? Clearing the space. there may be an assumption with that therefore nothing comes into your mind. That is not true. Even if we do all the work, even if we get to an embodied space or a space where we are the ones sharing something, teaching something to others, we don't eject out of the situation. We don't suddenly become immune to things. Yes, my mind is 90% clear, in that way. The voices, the thoughts, the inner critic, yes, it lessens a lot through consistent work, but it doesn't stop those pesky little thoughts coming in. The difference is we don't pay any mind to them. We don't identify with them. We don't allow it to stop us. But the thoughts still come in, right? And the message from that at the time was, whatever it is that you want to do or share or start or begin, whatever creativity, whatever part of your voice, anything at all, an offering, if you're stuck in the thought of the how or the questions or the doubt as to its value, for example, don't allow that thought to stop you. Notice the thought and do it anyway, because somebody needs to hear what you've got. Someone needs your medicine. Someone needs what you have on your heart, your idea. So that was the message there. Then had the whole thing with the videos. I just thought, you know what, just let it go. It's obviously not the day for that. And I was reflecting on the value of this work later in the afternoon, and I was reflecting on my family as well. And I just started sobbing, like bawling. It was all just put, and it's not even like normal crying anymore. It's just like my eyes leaking. All this emotion started to move through, and that's okay. I don't attach to it anymore. I don't make meaning. I just allow it to go through. And then I realized later in the afternoon, there was a Chiron aspect yesterday. And like the astrology is beyond potent, powerful, and like incredible in its messages and reflections right now. And I'm going through my Chiron return this year. So I thought, okay, that kind of explains this wave of emotion. But it was a kind of a strange day. While I was in that emotion last night, I'd surrendered the doing. I'd had something to eat, was laying on the bed. All this emotion was coming through. I heard share. And I was like, really? Because I'm not really a crier not in public. I don't mind, but it's like, it's not normally my style to do the teary shares. But I thought, okay, whatever. This is the journey that I'm on, is surrendering my mind, my ego, what I think people want to hear, all the rest of it, and just staying in integrity to myself. So I shared that, and part of the message, it was about craving love from your family, but part of the message was that no matter who we are, what we speak or stand for, or all the rest of it, like, we go through the same thing. Even if you're embodied in something, you're not immune to the contrast. So there's kind of no escape from the contrast. And while I was sharing that, I was observing, I got a memory of like one of my old teachers years ago. Like, if you were in her close circle, because that's the only people she really kind of showed herself to, like every time because she was very driven, and every time she crashed and burned, which she did sometimes, human, right? You push yourself too hard, you go through the cycles of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, right? Because it doesn't matter who you are or what you do, you're still going to get those reflections from the universe sometimes to show us what we're holding inside. Every time you up level, there's going to be another layer of all this self-sabotaging energy. So you don't escape that. You just do things anyway. You learn to deal with it. You push through it and still produce, still speak, still act on your ideas, on your plans. But she used to be afraid of letting the sisterhood that she'd created, her clients, people that listened and received her medicine, her wisdom, she used to be quite afraid that they would think she was a fraud if people saw her in her real vulnerability. right? And this is years ago now. So she used to kind of hide that part of herself away. And I remember kind of noticing that at the time. And I personally never felt like that. I don't have those expectations of people, you know, and it's a very new earth frequency and acknowledgement to have a state of consciousness where everybody is equal. Like, it doesn't diminish from their wisdom, their experience, or their skills if they have a bad day, right? So in the vulnerability, if you've got no judgment of self, then that's fine. It's still a part of your superpower. And if you teach or embodied in a certain area, it doesn't mean you're not going to experience the contrast. So there was this kind of message thread coming through that just because you overcome something, right, or you get successful in a certain area, it doesn't mean that you're ejecting out of things. It doesn't mean you're immune to things coming in and attempting to derail you or sabotage. Essentially, we just learn to have a different relationship with things. It's like the mind work, okay? You're never going to, the aim is not to get rid of thoughts. You're never going to not have a negative thought again. It's just that you have a different relationship to your thoughts. You don't believe those negative thoughts. You know that they are not who you truly are. So you're able to disregard them and carry on. And this is massive at the moment. It keeps coming through in so many different ways, this message around negativity and it not being true self. Don't identify with it. If we're denying that part of ourselves or trying to push it away, pretend it doesn't exist, we actually enforce it. It persists. What we resist persists, right? So really, we're looking to face that head on and have a new relationship with it. And essentially, there's a thread here, and this is a really big, it's an on the money message that's coming through in many different ways. If we are waiting to feel different, waiting to stop thinking negatively about something before we can take action on it, we're going to be waiting a long time. And there is a part 2 to this message, which I'm not going to go into today, but it affects the nervous system as well. The true nervous system reset, which a lot of us are looking. We've been working with the body. We've been working with somatics, for example, trying to resource our nervous system so that we don't feel as much fear to move forward in the expansion to hold our own energy. But within that, we can get kind of like we're waiting to feel different before we do something. And it's the same in the mind. You know, if you've got a lot of negative thoughts in your mind, and every time you think about changing something, changing your life, producing, stepping out in a different way or sharing, and you're like, oh, I can't do it all the time. I've got these negative thoughts all the time. I've got the negativity. Spirit is very much asking all of us at the moment to do it anyway, to do it regardless. And in the doing, we build a muscle of what's the word? Kind of like cultivating this part of us that has that strength and focus to push past. And in the pushing past, we are growing our capacity. So there's something really deep around that at the moment. It's like, don't believe the hype of your own mind. It doesn't matter how much work we've done. We don't escape from the negativity, the self-doubt. If we listen to that thought that says, oh, that's stupid, no one's going to want to hear that, then within that, if we identify that, listen to it, and we allow it to stop us taking an action, for example, or to stop us sharing, then within that inaction, there's another thought that we're not capable, we're not worthy. We're diminishing ourselves because we're basically giving into the energy of the sabotage and then staying. Like, if you think about it, you could have the best idea in the world, either £1 million idea, or forget about money, an idea for how to help people or create a better space in this world, right, that could have real valuable impact on people. You could have the best idea in the world, but if you allow every single day of your life, if you listen to those thoughts that will come up, because the mind only has the past, it's not comfortable with stepping into the unknown. It thinks it's going to be rejected, and it's this whole threat thing energy. If we listen to those thoughts day after day for the rest of our life, then the world will never feel the impact of that idea. So we really haven't got anything to lose other than the mind itself, in the sense that we're not going to stay still anymore because of some pesky voice telling you that what you do or say isn't worthy, that it's not good enough, that no one's going to want to hear it. I can categorically tell you the world needs your ideas, your medicine. Only you, in your unique consciousness, can bring forward, bring to life that beautiful creation. But all these small parts of self, right, the sneaky little thoughts, like, really, what is actually stopping us anymore other than doubting self? Once we start doubting ourselves, you're not going to move forward. You're going to stick in that energy and make a million different reasons as to why it isn't going to work, right? So think the thought and do it anyway. The thoughts will lessen when you build the part of yourself that doesn't cave into the resistance that it brings up. Your body will start to feel safer to move forward, to hold that energy, whatever that is, when you start to take the small actions in alignment. But all the time you're stopping yourself from expanding because of the what ifs, the yeah buts. All the time we're allowing that, the darkness is winning, you know. And this is what I've noticed the last few days, all the weird little hiccups, all the strange little interference energies, the things that feel like a block, the thoughts that come in that then take you into yourself so that you don't act. All of these things are the tools of the darkness. They are the tools that will sabotage your life. And when I say tools, they are things that are being used by the dark energies, by the devil. No one likes to talk about that, but it's not some big monster outside of ourselves. The strongholds of that energy are in the mind. Self-doubt is an absolute killer. It will kill off your dreams, kill off your ambitions. Do you want to get to the end of your life and think, wow, like, why the fuck did I let that stop me? Because even if it didn't end up the way that I want or saw, at least I give it a go. At least I expanded myself in the effort to, you know, see how you can contribute to this world in a positive way. There's so much going on out there right now. It really does rely, and it's all divide and conquer as well. See how stuff going on in the world gets people at each other. So it really is up to us how much weight we give to that. And the energy of all of it is through the thoughts. It's such a persistent message right now. you know, and I want you to know as well, earth angels, new earth leaders, and you are that because you're carrying the template of supreme goodness in your heart. We are divinely protected. We are. The only thing that will get you stopped still is your own thoughts, is you believing that you're not worthy and capable. And a lot of it will try, it will keep coming. Every time you up level, have a new idea, you might push past this thought now and produce something, put something out there and feel great, and it expands. In a year's time, you'll have another thought, something bigger, right? The next thing, another idea rather, something bigger, the next thing. You're going to get another round of the same shit. Because we live in this fucking mind matrix, which is controlled, programmed, conditioned in negativity, in contraction, with control. So we're not ejecting out of this. We're not becoming immune to it. We are learning who we are in response to it, who we are in truth, so that we can come at it differently with a new energy. We can be different. Clear. So you are divinely protected. Our whole Holy Spirit, no weapon against me shall prosper, right? So we're going to get a Dragonfae Oracle message. Just going to pull a card for you, see what energy wishes to come through to support you, to support your creations, to support your growing sense of self, which is now in alignment with the truth of who you are, not in alignment with these spooky voices and energies that are literally just parasitic darkness through your thoughts, through the feelings in the body that we make meaning out of and think, oh, I can't do that. And then we go back into our cave. It is time to come out of the cave. Stop thinking and take action. Whatever thought you're having that is stopping you from, it was 2244 when I said that, whatever thought is coming that it's not worth it, that no one's going to want to hear it, it's pointless because the money's not there, you don't know how it's going to happen, all this stuff, right? It's all designed to keep you small. That's going to have that one. Interesting. Let's have two. Wow, the Dawn Watcher again. Oh, this card has come out 3 times. Let's see what's on the bottom. Oh, let's have that as well. Okay, this card has come out 3 times in the last couple of weeks. And it really speaks to the spiritual bell that rings out, the tone. It's making me think of the saying as well, ring true. Does something ring true to you? Bells are a cleansing tone. It's a resonance, a clearing, centering resonance. That's why they took all the bells down in England. This used to be known as like the Isle of bells, or because every church, there's so many churches in England, and the bells would ring out. They took all the bells away because they clear the air, they clear the energy, they clear the field. Something rings true to you, it resonates, right, within your body. The bells are ringing for change. There may be a bittersweet farewell, but the message is to be joyful. So just want to have a look at the Dawn Watcher again for a little bit of depth with this message, because essentially The essence of the Dawn Watcher is a reminder that you are not alone. And it's a real like affirmation of this beautiful, fiery, fey, earthy, primal energy that comes forward. Now, this speaks as well to that resonance within. What is it that you are being nudged to do? What is the intuition inside that is giving you that nudge? Because that's what this card comes to alert you to. There's nothing to fear when you receive these messages, but it's a call to pay attention, take note, and act when the time is right. So this is the energy that literally rings alarm bells for us when we have need of forewarning and foreknowledge. It's the intuition inside, the gut instinct that alerts us. It also is the energy of the sunrise as well. Some of you may be called to get up and experience the flow of the cycle of the day in that way and really receive the energy of sunrise. But it's really about awakening from soul sleep. Hearing the call within, the nudge, the urge to speak, to share, to create. So that there is a beautiful affirmation of that message that's been coming through. You know, don't believe the hype in your own mind. So Pellinor and the Lady, this is an interesting one because this is about the bittersweet. This is about feeling everything at once. It's like the heartbreak that comes with saying goodbye, even if we know that we're moving towards something that our souls are blessed for. Okay, so it's like sweetness and sadness at the same time. There's a nostalgia with this card. There's a message that you will be reunited, whatever that means to you. But it's like speaking to an ache within our hearts. It's like a part of us that can no longer continue, or parts that are, or lovers that are separating for their tasks to complete. They cannot include the other. So some things are karmic, right? But it's about believing in the strength of love and the focus on the tasks before you, because you have a role to play in life that requires a distinctive part. So, yeah, this is about feeling the difficulty of something, right? Or if you've met somebody and it's not quite aligned in the physical, if there's something there. I mean, the medicine of this card, really, if you know, a lot of people are wanting conscious relationships, divine union, and not fully understanding that it's not really a romantic thing in the sense that, well, it might be, but it's in the sense that it's really about purpose. There may be a relationship in your life at the moment of any sort, whether it's romantic or not, where the purpose of it is changing. And it's like, can we let go? Like myself and my partner, we're not physically together at the moment. And we're in our 5th year now. We've had a few times in the course of our relationship where we've been required to follow our individual soul journey. And that can cause the human, right? So this speaks to human feelings, but finding like that deeper, higher perspective, essentially, for the path that you're being asked to step into. Lady Titania really calls us to celebrate ourselves, okay? And it speaks into coming into an intention over the next 28 days, like the next moon cycle. Now, we've just had this very powerful full moon. So we're literally at the beginning of a cycle in that sense. But observing cycles, observing opportunities to play, dance, and this is so relevant. I watched a reel of my friend. She's a musician, but she was singing Hold My Hand, Nessie Gomez. I'm obsessed with Nessie Gomez, but I've not listened to her for a few months. So when I was out on my walk earlier, I listened to a few tracks of Diamonds and Demons, and it's just so beautiful. Like, it made me cry. The words of Hold My Hand make me cry every time. And I was literally just dancing in the street, like just movement, singing at the top of my voice. And I thought, do you know what? I don't give a shit anymore if people are looking, thinking, what the fuck's she doing? I don't care. We're really being asked to abandon anywhere where we pretend not to be ourselves, where we are not expressing that truth, that organic idea. Okay, we really want to be into the willingness to let ourselves go a little bit. And as I was walking back after that, I was really receiving, like, the earth, the mother at the moment, she just wants us to sing and dance. She wants us to celebrate on the earth, to appreciate the gift of life. And this message from this Dragonfae wants you to recognize a delighted and a feeling and happiness to know of your ability to delight in your own self. When you celebrate yourself, Spirit celebrates with you. Now, Titania is an interesting one. Fairy Queen Titania, her name literally means daughter of the Titans. This is a powerful energy, family. The Titans were the elder gods who were the children of heaven and earth and sprang from chaos, along with the Dragonfae, who were also born of the divine. So this beautiful energy, like all of creation stories, are full of these tales of something magical and beautiful birthing from chaos, birthing from the darkness, from the confusion, from nothingness, okay? They include Saturn, Rhea, Oceanus, Hyperion, and others. In Ovid's Metamorphoses, Titania is another name for Diana. It's the goddess of the hunt, right? As well as other goddesses of the night, queens of the shadowy world, ruling over its mystic elements and powers. So there is no separation. The Titans are the goddesses are the Dragonfae. Like Isis, who personified the feminine, generative principle of universal nature, Diana and the others are all nature goddesses. So rather than being a diminutive creature of delicacy and daintiness, Titania is tall, very powerful, and very strong. She is of the elfin race, where the height and the features are very pronounced, with enough Dragonfly blood in her veins to ensure she is a creature who can fly and endure for many millennia. She is one of the oldest ones still with us. And yet her path for this time and for you is to help to celebrate with others the joy of being alive. Just as you are feeling old, despairing, fatigued, worn out, she will sweep you up in her strong arms, show you the treasures of your life, and lay a feast for you to partake in with others of your kind, because being lonely and isolated is no longer an option for you. We find others of our kind when we step out of that isolated space of the mind. All the time we are staying in that thought, stuck there, we're cycling there. It's us who have to push past that by not giving it any weight. You know, don't identify with something that is telling you that you can't do. If it's telling you something negative, it's almost like by definition, it's false. Because it's saying that to you, because the energy is not your true self. It doesn't represent. You know, a lot of us have got these voices within our own minds. It's nothing on the external. There's nothing else to blame. We've really got to get to the place where we fully take responsibility for what's in here. There is nothing and no one that's going to come in and change that. no partner, no external circumstance, situation, money, job, anything that you could think of. It's actually not going to change the internal state, because that's our job. We're the only ones in truth that have access to that. So know your power. Don't believe the hype of your own mind. Is there a space from now, whatever the thing is that you're not doing? Because I know it's there. Each and every one of you have the most beautiful, creative, expansive energy, offerings, heart, ideas, projects. The only thing that stops them from coming into fruition is your own mind. Stop hiding your light under a bushel. Oh, this myrrh smells divine. I'm so grateful for things like this. Like, to me, the gifts from the earth, that is luxury, absolute luxury. Crystals, the animals, the feather. It's like everything's just so beautiful. The fragrance from nature, from the flowers. If we really tune into everything that is available for us to soothe our senses, soothe the senses through the natural abundance in life, because that boxed off negativity that's bouncing around will literally like keep us in that space. It prevents us from just being good with what is, from being comfortable in our body. The comfortability, the fluidity, the newness, the opportunities, the resources, the how, it's all going to come from the taking of the step. It's all going to open up through the action taking, which takes that bit of courage. So what if not everyone will resonate with you? I'm not for everyone. I've just accepted that now. My light isn't for everybody. I don't want it to be anymore, in the sense that I don't have this like, oh, I've got to help everybody. No, there's someone for everyone, right? Someone might reject you and someone might not agree with you. We're not here to create some sort of agreeing consensus. We're here to stand for our uniqueness. You're here to put into this world, project into this world your unique essence, unique heart essence, unique flavor, signature, tone, frequency, aliveness, message. If one person, you could change their perspective, change their day, someone needs to hear it. So allow yourself to share yourself in this world. Don't be put off by the bookie energies, because there's a fucking lot of them right now. There's all sorts of weird shit going on. It's not our business. Do you know that? Because we are resourced by God. When you're resourced by God, the devil stands under your feet. Let me tell you, we are divinely protected. Know that. Know your value and your worth in this world. And release it. Unleash. Loosen your light. Oh, well, so got it out. That feels good, because, and this is part of my lesson as well. Don't force things. Don't force it. Don't force the message before it's ready. Yeah, it's lovely to want to share. But if it doesn't align, then that's for a reason, and trust in that. Just go with the flow. Let it go. Do something else that feels good. Okay, so I love you so much. I trust that message resonated for somebody. Yeah, I love you very much. Thank you so much for all of you, just being you, being present. Any support, likes, just being here, right? Sharing frequency. I feel you all and I appreciate you. Until next time, family.